Hello, and welcome to the Y of San Francisco's Classrooms for All. My name is Reesha. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to be talking about nature at home. If you'd like to follow along, you can get either some corn, if you have some at home in your refrigerator, or if you have some popcorn, we're going to be using that as well. If you'd like, you can also get a plate or a white piece of paper so that we can enjoy this art exploration with all of the fabulous colors that we're going to see. Are you ready to get started? Okay. You might notice that I have some corn with me right here, and it's growing on this huge stalk. The stalk itself is very, very tall. There's some roots at the bottom, and the corn itself is growing off the sides. I see so many colors already. There's actually not only some green, but there's also some pink and red. Oh my gosh, beautiful. And there's almost a blackish brown color to the top of the tassels, and some beautiful yellow golden colors in the leaf as well. Let's harvest one of these corn cobs and see what it's about. Let's listen. Let's use all of our senses to do this. Wow, it smells like fresh grass. Corn is in the grass family. I feel the ridges on the leaf as well. Now I'm going to be opening this up, and while I do that, so that we can see the corn cob inside of the ear of corn, you can either open up a bag of popcorn, or if you have loose popcorn already, you can start to lay it out in front of you. What color do you think it's going to be on the inside of this ear of corn? Now, corn is in the grass family, as I said before, and it's actually pollinated by wind. So each of these tiny little tassels that's dried at the end has been pollinated and is connected to a kernel. Each one of these little tiny hairs is connected to one kernel on the ear of corn. Wow, it smells like fresh cut grass. Wow. Oh my gosh. Look at that. It's incredible. It's a whole rainbow inside. I'm going to hold it up against a piece of paper so you can really appreciate the vibrant colors that are inside. Look at that. Isn't that just beautiful? Wow. I can't believe we found a rainbow inside this ear of corn. There's even some greens and purplish blues, some light golden colors too. Amazing. Now this particular variety of corn is called glass gem, and it's a type of popcorn. So the way that this becomes popcorn that we can take handfuls of and eat on movie night is that it has to dry out first. I knew it was ready to harvest because the very end of the tassel was very brittle and dry and brown, and the corn itself felt filled out and firm. So now that I have this corn cob, I'm going to let it dry for maybe up to 2 weeks, maybe as little as 4 days. And I'll know it's ready if I try to pop off one of these kernels with my finger. It came off very slowly because it's full of moisture, but I can take it off and put it aside for a rainbow. Now, I'll know this is ready to become popcorn when a piece easily comes out and I can squeeze it and no water comes out. Now, if you have corn at home that's in a popcorn bag, you might notice a lot of the same color, but if you look really closely, you'll start to see some variation in the color as well. So I'm going to make a little popcorn rainbow here. And you might be wondering, how did it grow like this? Well, last year in 2019, when I harvested the corn from last year, some of it I did not turn into popcorn. Some of it I saved, and it's right here in this jar. When you're talking about nature at home, you have to remember that recycling is also part of nature. This glass jar is made from silica, which is a mineral, and this lid is made from metal, so that's been mined and refined. So if I were to just toss this, it would go either into the recycling, and that takes a lot of energy to reconstitute it into something else, or if it went into the trash, it would not get a chance to biodegrade because it would take far too long, way, way longer than our lifetime. So I'm glad that I'm reusing this glass jar first. So in this glass jar, you can listen all the dried kernels from last year. This whole stalk, this stalk of corn that has, I think originally it had 5 ears of corn, so it had 5 of these. And this, I don't even know, how many kernels do you think are on this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. There's 26 just on one line. Oh my gosh. If you're good at multiplication, you might be able to find the probability of how many kernels are on this corn. So imagine 5 or 6 of these on this one stalk of corn. This entire stalk of corn came from one corn kernel that I dried last year. One kernel of corn. Just one of these made an entire new stalk of corn with 5 or 6 of these on it. Amazing. So you could do an experiment at home. You could, if you'd like to set aside some corn kernels of your own and learn how to grow some corn, you would need to put it directly into the soil where you want it to grow the whole time it's growing. It doesn't transplant well from one place to another place once it's growing, but you need a dry kernel of corn and a little bit of soil, and it needs to be in a dry place that's very warm, that you occasionally water, and I'd be curious to know more about how it goes. And here's a little rainbow that I made for you out of the beautiful colors of corn that we noticed today. So much fun. Fabulous friends, thank you so much for joining me in this corn rainbow adventure. If you liked this activity and you want to learn about others, you can join us at YMCASF.org/classrooms-for-all. Thank you so much for joining me. We'll see you soon.
Did you know that YMCA of San Francisco never closed? When shelter-in-place happened, we could no longer provide in-person programming. We quickly shifted to provide youth and family programming virtually. As early as April, we started providing on-demand activities in our YMCA of San Francisco YouTube channel.
For this video, we're going to be making a geodesic dome.
Today, we're going to be making a hovercraft. The science around this activity is really awesome.
In addition, we have a regular schedule of activities for our youth and families to join live. We feature read-alouds, yoga, family Zumba, arts and crafts, drawing clubs, and more. So don't miss out on our virtual youth and family offerings. Visit www.ymcasf.org for more info and class schedules.